So, Life of Agony, 2003.
What's up, Christian?
Joey, Alan,
What's up, brother?
we are from the Fomp magazine. What's going on with you?
What's up?
How is your first time here again, back to Europe?
It's amazing. All the shows have been crazy. They've been sold out. People going crazy, so we're just very happy.
Alan? All right, I believe.
What he said, times two.
Times two, all right. Generally, how important is and was the music for you, for all the guys?
Well, it's basically, it's our lives, you know. It's very important to us. We revolve our lives around music, and our music is LOA. It's Life of Agony, you know. So basically our lives revolve around the band, of course. And the music is important to us because it allows us to vent our inner demons and frustrations through life and stuff. So, and it's a good way to connect to people out there, you know. And Al, you want to?
It's very intertwined with our lives, all the lyrics and the music and the live shows and connecting to the fans that listen to the music. It's a very bonding situation for us. And when we didn't have it for those years that the band wasn't together, we all had that void in our hearts that we really wanted to fill again. That's why we're back.
Times two.
Times two.
Not too close. Oh.
Okay, he's right. He's my manager. back to farmer times. Back to the roots.
Mm-hmm.
You all come from New York City, and please tell me something about the roots of hardcore music, because as you all know, there were bands like Pantera, Biohazard, Agnostic Front, bands. Which role does Life of Agony play for the whole time in New York?
Well, the bands that were around when we were growing up and playing with, we played with the Cro-Mags, Agnostic Front, you mentioned, bands like Leeway, Rest in Pieces, Sheer Terror, Nausea. These were like bands that were around when Life of Agony first started. So these were like our influences, Sheer Terror, you know, and Life of Agony played an important role, we feel, in the hardcore scene because we broke hardcore into a different realm. We added the melodic vocal on top of the hardcore music at first. And that kind of opened up some doors for some newer hardcore bands. And at first we weren't accepted as much as the other bands. We kind of got shit for it every now and then from some of the newer bands. But the older bands respected us a lot. Like Agnostic Front always respected us a whole lot. And we always got a lot of respect from these bands. So as time went on, I think people got more, got used to hearing Keith's vocals like that. And after a while, it became its own sound, you know, with Keith's vocal in the band. And, you know, I think we did play an important role especially for a lot of bands that are around today, because you hear a lot of like that hard music with the singing edge in it now. And, you know, we recognize that, you know.
Times two.
Times two. Yo.
No, you know what? Actually, when we were coming up, then our first big show actually in New York City was Typo Negative, Biohazard was on the bill. I think Overkill headline, and we were the little band that could, you know, in the first spot. And that was that was a big show for us at the Ritz in New York City, and that was like a big turning point for us because we got to play with bigger bands in front of a lot of people. And at that time, then we started to, you know, headline our own shows and things.
We got more respect. We got more respect at that point from everybody, the bands and the fans. We stole everyone's fans.
River Runs Red, message 5. Respect. So, in this case, which favorite bands or which bands did influence Life of Agony or you as musicians in solo projects too?
Well, growing up, I was always a big Metallica fan. That band for me has been the pinnacle of music for my life. Has always everything always filtered somehow always came to Metallica in my life. You know, I always find Metallica again, and that's really the band that has influenced me since I was a kid. So, you know, there are plenty of bands, but to name them all, you know, I'd be here forever.
Your favorite band?
There's only one. You know, the biggest inspiration I've had lyrically was Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah, Roger Waters especially. I put on the Final Cut record. I was talking about it to a friend of mine today, actually, that record in particular was probably the core of River Runs Red, and it really hit me hard. It still does.
Back to '97. What was or what were the main reasons for the break off of Live Agony?
Well, I think we tried every avenue there was to try to keep the band alive. There was nothing left to really hold on to. Slowly but surely, the band was deteriorating by members leaving, and it all started when Sal left. And we're basically kind of happy that we had this time away, because we realized, as Alan said before, how much we needed Life of Agony, and how much we needed it to be the original members of the band, because that was the magical, and always will be the magical chemistry, as the four of us, the original guys. And we have appreciated that we had Dan in the picture and Witt. They came along when we needed them, and there was time, we had some fun times with those guys. But in the end, the magic was the four of us: Keith, Sal, Alan, and myself. Was the true magic, and that we can't deny that. So, we're just kind of happy things worked out the way they did, and that we're here today, and that we can actually, hang out together as brothers again and as a family, and do it again, once again together.
So like the four elements, Life of Agony,
Yeah,
four
that's
companions, four elements.
It's the only way it works, man.
I think there was the attempt to do the same thing with Crane Rickfield and other
Yeah, it was
vocalists.
kind of reaching out, trying
Yes.
to grab what was left. That's all it really was.
You know what? It was like we loved Life Agony so much, Joey and I, that even after the other guys had left, and we just wanted to keep on going. We weren't raised to be quitters, you know what I mean? And we would go to the very end, and we did. We went to the point that it just didn't make sense to keep going.
The time after the split, how did you spend your time?
Whew. It was a roller coaster for me. It was an emotional roller coaster, basically. That's the only way I could put it. Of course, I'm a musician, so I'm never going to quit music. So, but, it was tough starting a new band from scratch, and Alan knows as well. It's a hard thing, it's not easy to do. And it's not easy to find other musicians that you're comfortable with and you can create magic with. It's just, it was a tough time. But at the same time, I've done a lot of learning and soul searching, and I've gained more knowledge as a musician, as a person. I've kind of found myself more over the last few years, and it's playing with other people has taught me some things, and made me a better musician. And and now I'm happy I went through all that roller coaster. I'm happy I took that ride, and because now I'm a better person, I'm a happier person, that's for sure, that I'm with these guys again. And now I'm even happier with my personal life because of all this. So I have a lot to look forward to, man.
I think for all those people who listen or who watch the DVD produced by SPV and you can see this magic. I think I pointed my view on you, Joey, and I could see there are three things combined in one person. This was blood, sweat, and tears. Because
That's funny.
I
I
think
wrote that on the guitar at Hard Rock Cafe. The blood,
Blood,
sweat, and tears. Yeah, on my guitar.
I don't know.
Funny.
I don't know
weird.
this.
That's weird. Okay, I'm sorry for interrupting you.
No problem. You can. I think you could see it when Keith started the song with how it would be. Okay, so
that's we're cousins, and my uncle had passed away, and Keith's mom had passed away. That's my uncle and my aunt. They're both gone. And when he sang the song, and I haven't been with Keith for all that time playing with him, and it's my cousin, my family, that everything, even being in Life of Agony again at that moment, hit me all at once. I couldn't believe what was going on, and I couldn't believe I was standing up there with Alan and Sal, and everything hit me. It was like, it was the last night, it was the second night that happened, and I thought it may possibly be the last time we were going to get to play together, maybe, and it was almost the end of the set. It was close to the end. It was like, 3/4 of the way through, and everything just came out. I couldn't control myself. I was just, but, but but yeah, it just means so much to us, as a whole, as four guys. This band means so much to us that, and we have the blood, sweat, and the tears for this band. We give everything, our whole heart, our whole soul for this band.
Times two.
Yo, man.
Yo,
What's going on? So, what's going on with your solo projects? We knew that Keith released that Laughing record. I heard some stuff about you, Stereo Mat, and the other band, Supermassive. And what's going on with those projects?
Well, Stereo Mud is no more, right, at this point. Among these, the band that I started a couple years ago with Danny from Biohazard and a couple of other guys from the scene, we recorded a live record for Japan, and those guys are finishing up a studio record for Japan as well, and that's probably going to be that. My main focus is LOA, and it's really all I want to do right now. As far as Keith is concerned, he just finished up a solo tour in Europe, great solo tour, and he's gonna do that from time to time when he feels like putting something down. Supermassive, I don't think is around anymore either.
Yeah, it's just no. So I was just saying it. No, it's everything. We're just we're concentrating on LOA. We're gonna try to concentrate our time on LOA. There's no Stereo Mud. There's no Supermassive. Alan has a record coming out in Japan. Keith is doing some solo stuff, but I think everyone's ready to just do this again and
Back to business.
write another LOA record.
Hey.
That's what's gonna happen.
You make foreshadowings for my interview.
Yeah, man.
So, so now we have 2003. We are back here. We are in Europe or in America. 2003, Live of Agony are still doing their work together. And up to now, in those days before the reunion show, the sold-out reunion, the 20-minute sold-out reunion show, we like to call that,
around the world, man.
is gone. How was the feeling and how were your emotions for the first time in your rehearsal room as you met again those four guys only between four walls? What was it for a feeling to you to see that there's something in common?
It was huge. It was like a nervous excitement. It's so excited to do it that you're actually nervous. And I never get nervous personally, and to play or anything. But it's so much. Even in the studio, I had a nervous excitement feeling, because it was so fucking. You can't put it in words, man. So vibrant, so real. It's happening. It was really happening, and it's huge. It's just a huge feeling, It's just chills when you play, and goosebumps when you play, and crying, everything, Just old memories, new feelings, new vibe, old vibes coming back. It's just everything. It's huge feeling. There's nothing like it coming back to a special band like this, man.
In a lot of ways too, it was kind of like those years in between were gone. It was like all of a sudden you're back in time, and you're like, you didn't miss a beat. It was just kind of like, old friends back in the same room together, and you all know each other so well, and you grew up together and stuff, that you only have that certain connection with certain people in your life, and we all have that because we lived together, we ate together, we worked together. Yeah, and it's something that's instilled in your heart, and it's something special that when we got into the room, it was like you felt like you were coming home. You know what I mean? So it was pretty dope.
Is it right that you had only...
That's like the fucking nail. That was like the nail in the coffin right there, man.
Is it right that you had only 6 days to practice before the record, before the show started?
Because of me, man. That was my fault. I was on tour with, with Stereo Mud and Seven Dust, and we were going right up until Christmas. And the shows were, January 3rd and 4th. It was right after the holidays. So not only was I coming home late, but we had Christmas and New Year's in there to screw everything up too. So we were like, okay, we'll play that day, rehearse. And it only came to like 6 rehearsals. And we did it, man. We fucking did it. And I think for a band with 6 rehearsals, I think we did pretty damn good on that DVD. And we didn't overdub anything. We didn't fucking touch a thing. It was natural. If there's screw-ups or if it's loose or whatever, or if whatever happens, it's there. That's what it was. It was 6 rehearsals. Fuck off.
Fucking hard work, huh?
It was fun as hell, though. I wouldn't change it for a minute, We only had 2 rehearsals with Keith before this whole tour, actually, because Keith was out here in Europe doing his solo run. And me, Joey, and Sal would go to the studio and be like, how'd the vocal go again? Because we were without him. But that's all we needed, man.
So please describe short what was going on these 2 evenings, January the 3rd and the 4th.
It wasn't just our show. It wasn't just 4 guys. It was the whole room. And that's what I think we kept that vibe since. We've had that vibe in the past, I believe. But when you come to a Life of Agony show, you are part of the show. You are the show. It's not just us. It's the whole room needs to have that magic. And that's what those nights felt like. That magic was present. It was in the air. There was excitement from the crowd and from the band. And that's what makes a truly great show, is when the excitement is equal from the band and the crowd, and then there's that magic right in the middle. And it's just, and we've had that every night on this tour. We've kept that feeling, that vibe. You'll see tonight when we play here in Cologne. It's just, it's a feeling, I think, that we don't even need to try at this point to capture. We just are that vibe. We just come out, and that is what we have to offer, that connection. That is.
Did you enjoy these evenings?
On this tour?
Yes.
Oh my God, it's like a dream, man. It's unbelievable. I can't believe that so many people want to see our ugly faces every night. Still.
For your ugly faces, most of the shows are sold out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
I think here for Cologne, it was almost 2 months before this date here, the tickets were sold out, really.
That's
and not
great.
only here. There are many friends of us
Wait till
who
we hit the festivals, though, next year.
Yeah.
We're going to come back.
back to the festivals.
Yeah.
What was going on, Dynamo? How was your first time in Europe?
Oh my God. Well, the first time in Europe was with Propane and the Spud Monsters, and that tour was great. I mean, we were the first band on out of all the bands, but we've got such a warm welcome here in Europe. I don't know what it was. It was a connection. I guess it was a connection for the music and the lyrics, but people really wanted to see LOA, and we really made a connection on that tour. And that first Dynamo was just crazy. It was the biggest show we've ever played at that point, and I think we were so excited. We came on stage like on fire, and the crowd went on fire, and just I still got it on tape, and it's just there's little clips in the DVD while we're talking on the interview with Dynamo, and
Like Cell said, there are 130,000 people moving in sequence.
yeah,
he said this.
in sequence.
It was really amazing. I've never seen such a crowd before.
Oh, it's amazing, man. We're gonna do it again and again, man. This summer we're gonna do it again and then fucking again. You'll see it tonight, and you're gonna see it this summer. For goddamn sure, man.
So keep alive, my little readers and listeners from the Fomp magazine. They will come back and back and back. So up to the future, will Life of Agony perform this live DVD and this live record, and tour here, tour there, tour in Europe, tour in America, and that's it? Or will Life of Agony go on?
You know what? You tell me the answer. You tell us the answer.
I tell the answer. Life of Agony will produce several wonderful albums
Yes.
and get on the top of the charts.
Yes.
In America, in China, in
Everywhere.
Europe, and yeah.
He knows. He knew the answer to that one.
Okay, I can answer so.
That was a
Cool.
good question, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a tricky question. Yeah, the plans for the future. Is there a studio date or a label deal, something like that?
No, that's the luxury that we have right now, is that we have no pressure. And I think a band that has no pressure, you could really make a great album. I think that's what it boils down to. We have no label breathing down our neck. We have no time frame to work with. It's just up to us to write a great record and take our time and make sure it's the right record as we're writing it, and because we want to release an intense record. I think that word intense is going to be very important from start to finish.
Yeah.
A complete record, a record that feels complete together, and I think if we go after that, we're going to be in good shape.
Will Josh Silva, will he maybe offer you his support, or?
We have no idea at this point with who we would work with or with what label, because again, it's real early. Tonight will be our 12th show or something like that, or 13th show since we've been back. Only 13 since Irving, since New York. Only 13 shows. This will be like number 13, I think.
21st was, I think, the first date.
21st
October here in Europe.
Yeah, but what I'm saying,
19th.
yeah, but there's been days off and stuff, but it's been like, I think altogether we've had around 13 shows. 13, right? This will be the 13th. Tonight will be number 13 since we've been back. So,
This is a fucking nice.
So since I'm
Pass.
superstitious, I'm gonna knock on wood because it's number 13. We want to make sure tonight goes good.
All right. So
Knock on Sal's wood.
So
Hey, that
what
was
is
plastic, man.
no metal. So what is It's a tricky question again.
You like these tricky questions?
I like these tricky questions, yes, but you have my sympathy. How old do you feel when you're listening to a band that is covering you? I'm thinking about Propane and the Weeds song.
I don't feel old. I think it was cool.
Yeah, especially from a band like Propane that we toured with and know very well. It was almost like, friends of ours just like jamming on our stuff, or, take a turn jamming on our stuff. Maybe one day we'll do a Propane song.
Johnny Black. We feel like a young bunch of cats, man. This isn't a reunion. The band is just back together. Those reunions are for old guys with fucking canes and shit. We're back. Life of Agony's back. Forget this reunion thing. We just needed some time away. It's not a reunion. We're just back in action. And we're young cats still.
So we come to the last words.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a funny short band story?
Yeah.
Any one of you?
We got plenty.
Maybe one or two?
Funny band story? Like an old band story or a new band story? Well, one that just came into my head was we were playing a little club in Pennsylvania called Cece's, I think it was. And it had very low ceilings, like maybe like that tall. And it was at the end of the show, and Keith said, "I want to see everybody tear this fucking ceiling down." And they did. It was like everyone was hitting the ceilings. Chunks of ceiling was falling all over the ground. The whole place. The people want to kill us, that own the club. They were like, "You broke my ceiling. What's wrong with you?" But people would come to us and, "Can you sign a piece of ceiling for me?"
Yeah.
It was a trip, man. But we hightailed out of there.
Well,
Cool.
I have a vivid, funny memory. I don't know how funny it was. It's pretty gross, but Keith I was away from the bus. We were in Amsterdam, and Keith had eaten he ate some bad cheese, and I don't even know if this is on the DVD. Is it? Oh, it is. Oh, but either way, Keith ate some bad cheese in Amsterdam, and he got sick from it.
We
wish you him.
Yeah, and he threw up all over in my bunk and all over my Christmas gifts I had for everyone that I was going home with. It was really disgusting, and I had to clean it. And I was tripping out on space cakes. I had eaten, space cakes with hashish in them.
So it was in the Netherlands.
Yeah, it was in the Netherlands, and I came back and I had to clean all the throw up, and he felt so bad. Keith was like, "I'm sorry," but it's funny now when we think about it, because he almost got Alan. He almost threw up.
Yeah, I was in the bottom bunk and Keith was in the top bunk, and I was like, I opened my curtain. I said, "Keith, you alright?" He was like, "Yeah, I'll be okay." And I went like this, closed my curtain. Chunks hit my curtain. It was gross, bro. We were picking chunks off curtains.
Cheese. Chunks of cheese. Mozzarella cheese.
Mozzarella.
Yeah, mozzarella cheese. All in my bunk. Chunks.
Keith
everywhere.
ate cheese.
Yeah, Keith ate the cheese all right.
Alright.
All right, guys.
Love Agony. Joey, Alan, thank you very, very much for being here.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best for the last date of the tour,
Thank you.
for your personal situation
Thank
as well. Many greetings to Keith and to Sal.
Cool.
I think we will see us again.
Mhm.
And you have the last words. I've talked enough.
Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Martin. And we hope to see everybody real soon, and just come to our shows. We'll make you a believer. How about that shit?
Yeah, this will be your guys' first show, Seeing Life Agony. So you're in for it tonight. You better get your seatbelts on, brother. Where you gonna watch it from? Where?
In the from the front.
Okay.
From the front?
Mosh pit.
All right, good luck.
Mosh pit, man.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Okay. Joey, Alan.
All right.
Great, thank you.